Love drinking out of mason jars. What is up, everyone? It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day, the middle of the week. It is 1/2/10/2025, December 10th, 2025. Wake Up Justin live every Monday, 8 through 10, Tuesday, 7 through 9. Then Wednesday through Friday, 8 through 10, I will be here live. Obviously you're here for a reason, because there's worlds, the physical realm, the spiritual realm, and all those things, and we're living in the physical realm, which is you're meant to struggle, have hard times, learn lessons, and grow from them. That's what you're here to do, to grow through through those things. So I do want to take kind of a lighter approach to things. Not like I'm not saying like it's gonna go to straight mindless stuff, but I don't want to get too heavy and too deep. I can keep those kind of stuff to myself, really. I might talk about it once in a while and things like that, but I think to come on, because like I said, even I get even it wears me out a little bit. So if it wears me out and I'm the one doing it, people coming in here all the time. And I get if someone comes in once in a while and watches, they're not gonna get tired of it. But if you come in here every morning with me and listen to me talk and stuff like that, you're gonna get tired of it, because it's it can wear you down, because you're not meant to always live in the spiritual realm, really, in a way. You're meant to live life, go out, do things, hang out with your friends, have experiences, travel, go see sights. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of it. So it's not even myself or anyone really is meant to be, at least I believe, in that kind of framework and that kind of mentality and that kind of mindset all the time. But I will extrapolate. I will extrapolate and expand a little more on and try to reform and reshape my thoughts on what I was talking about 2 days ago on stream, about what I believe the prophetic future events will be, and the and what I believe is going to happen in the future for humanity. And this is not this is this is their idea. This is the evil ones, I believe, idea, and the evil ones' plans, and what they want to do, and what's and what's to become of this place. Your mind's eye, your mind's eye is your third eye. That's your third eye, is your mind's eye. It's able to look beyond the physical realm and look into the spiritual realm, and then be able to project the image and the visuals of that realm in your mind's eye, your third eye. That's what your third eye is to be able to visualize the spiritual realm, see it, even though what you see in front of you is flesh, blood, steel, elements, and all those things. To be able to look beyond it in your mind's eye, your third eye, and see the spiritual realm through it, which I think most people have a hard time doing, for the fact that their imagination is lacking. They let society, they let the world tell them, that isn't real, this doesn't exist, and things like that. And they play it off in movies as magic and things like that. My stream really just go down from that? No way. There's no way my streams went down from me talking about that. Hold on a second. Okay. Well, my stream's lagging after I just mentioned the mind's eye and stuff. That's kind of weird. It literally just shut down. Yeah, so your mind's eye, is your visual projection of the spiritual realm inside your brain, inside the middle of your brain. Because, once you have imagination and you're able to see into that kind of realm, whatever, and your brain is the biggest most powerful supercomputer we have on Earth, you should be able to run scenarios, run ideas, and run projections in your mind's eye, and look into the spiritual realm and see what's going on. That's what a third eye is. It's not some thing. I think a lot of people get misguided and misconfused with things they see in movies or they hear in music or they see online, and they try and make it a certain way and try and make it so magical and like ooh la 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 type thing, whatever. And it's really not. It's not that big. It's not. It's not. It's not that big. Um, and that's the thing too. It's like the spiritual realm in this world, whatever. I think they kind of made people almost numb to it, and they made people gloss it over by showing the spiritual realm in like Harry and showing magic like Harry Potter or like all this stuff, whatever. So you think that like these kind of things only exist in these kind of movies in this kind of certain way, and it doesn't. It's completely opposite. It really does exist. And it's not like, ooh, you can shoot a fucking ball out of a wizard wand. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? So I think that's also a part of it, And yeah, I realize too, it's like the elites of the world, the politicians of the world. Dude, guess what? They all play for the same team. There is no sides for it. It's all the same team. So I think there's a side to this. They're on the side of bad and evil. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, they created all this. So I think there's, it's just there's two sides in this. It's good and evil. There is no left politicians. There is no right politicians. There is no celebrities that hate each other and stuff like that. Whatever. They're all in on it, dude. All of them are in on it. So like the only side is good versus evil in this realm. So mind's eye, be able to visualize, project into this, the spiritual realm, which is in front of you, but you can't. But most people can't see it because they're so entrenched in everything. Idol worshiping, all the sin. But watching movies that project magic in a certain kind of way, or project spiritualism in a certain kind of way, or wherever it may be, and stuff like that. And you got the politicians saying they hate each other when really they don't hate each other because they're all playing on the same team and doing the same thing, which is to usher in the system that will basically, or usher in systems to control the population. Because you gotta realize, like, when you're in power like that and you have a seat in government, whatever, like your job is to look over people and lead and steer them into like a prosperous way and a prosperous future. That is your job as a politician. Is like you're taking care of God's herd and God's sheep. And where are you going to lead them to? Are you going to lead them to green pastures, or are you going to lead them to slaughter? You know what I mean? And so it's like that right there just shows you there are the only sides that exist is good and evil. There is no left and right and middle and center and far right, far left. There is none. It's good and evil. Where are you leading? Where are you leading God's herd? To green pastures or to slaughter? Which one are you doing? But then they create this fake fighting in these fake scenarios and all this stuff to keep everyone just fighting against each other, so no one really pays attention or realize to what the hidden hand is doing behind the back of everyone else. And like I said, this is their plan that I'm talking about. This is what I believe they're doing. The evil ones in this world. Not this isn't God's plan, what God's doing, because he has a different plan to counteract what they're doing. I'm talking about what the evil ones are doing. I don't know what God's doing, but this is what the evil ones are doing. I believe they're creating chaos systems, whatever, and stuff like that. But I believe they created the hard times. You know what I mean? So that's why they can fix it, because they created it. They know how to fix the problem. They're not dumb. But hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. So when I think it is right now is that we're in hard times, are we not? People say the time is hard. Time is hard. So hard times create strong men, which is right now. So hard times right now are creating strong men. But it's to the tipping point now where the men are getting too strong and the men are waking up too much. As you can see across Europe, across Germany, across all the countries in the world, are that men are waking up and it's creating strong men, and they're starting to realize that they're screwing up because men are becoming strong, which then will create good times. But that's the problem. It's like, they won't allow it to happen. Because it's like that would, because they created the problem in the first place. But they didn't realize that doing that is going to create strong men that create good times, and we're almost there. The thing is, good times create weak men. Well, they're going to, which this is, I believe, the government and the evildoers' plan in the world is to create a false good time. And I believe, the waters in America are going to calm. America is to become love drunk, just for the fact they created the problem, so they can fix it very easily. And they'll play it off like, oh, we're so great, we fixed the problem, and all this stuff like that. And they'll create good times, which in return will create weak men, and then weak men create hard times. We're in the hard times right now that are creating strong men, and they know it, and they're going to stop it because they're getting afraid of what's happening. And they're going to create and they're going to fix all the problems to create good times, to create weak men. And then once that happens, once they create a bunch of weak men through a fake good time, then that's when we're in trouble. Because then your guard will be down even more. Because if you have industry and steel plants and all these things back in the United States, and you keep men busy, and you give them good times and stuff like that, they come lackadaisical, comfort kills you and stuff like that. Then we have a problem. Then we have an issue. You know what I mean? And then while this is going on, like I said, they'll usher in the whole AI system, which is going to be try to be complete control of everyone, complete predictability of everyone's thoughts, ideas, where you go, what you say, what you eat. I mean, it happens already, but not to an extent where like your money is controlled, you become unpredictable, and all those things. And wait till they have like if they ever get like digital IDs in the United States, stuff like that, and they're gonna disguise it as, well, for your safety and for this to never happen again, we need to do this to pre-care the events of another mass migration or whatever it may be. So in the end, I believe and that's the thing too. I guess it's my own battle and my own thoughts is, can we fix the problem and turn the ship around, or is it was prophesized in the Bible and at times whatever? If it's prophesized and already talked about, can you stop it? Because no one can stop God's plan. So it's a very interesting America's gonna be called love. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna happen. Watch. It's gonna happen. America will become love drunk. We'll have good times. It will create weak men, and while all that's going on, the foundation for the ushering in of the Antichrist system will be happening underneath everyone's nose. And no one will really know what's going on, because everyone will be love drunk. Oh, let the good times roll. But yeah, I mean, that was, that's what I think's gonna happen in a nutshell. That makes sense to anyone out there. I mean, that was a pretty good rant. I don't know how, that was pretty much to the point, sweet and to the point. I don't know how much more I can get there for you, But yeah, it's true though. It's like, as a politician or someone that has control in this world over other people's lives and, how they live. Once again, control people, control, not power, because no one in this world has power. Once again, we don't have power. Only God and Jesus have power. So we have control. Because like in life, you can't be Jesus, but you can be like Jesus. You can walk in his footsteps and live a higher life other than your, you can you can't be Jesus, but you can be like him and walk in his footsteps and live a higher life than to live in like our primal, natural, like, or like primal naturalistic way of living, you know. So you can walk in his footsteps and live for a higher purpose and above your primal, you know, side of yourself, which is like, you know, a primal side of man. You know, like fight, like survival of the fittest, dog eat dog, you know, the strongest survive type mentality, you know, which, you know, will make you, you know, it, you know, that side's a different side, and it's not, I'm not saying it's wrong, whatever, but it's a different style of, you know, walking in Jesus' footsteps, which is like love, compassion, understanding. Or you can walk in your primal side, like I said, which is like dog versus dog, you know, survival of the fittest type thing, and you're always like in a state of like fight, basically, you know, like someone, you know, this is my property, this is my stuff, you know, type thing, whatever. And it's like walking in Jesus' footstep kind of puts you above those kind of things in a way. And then, you know, you can't, you know, no one can be God, but you can be like God and create a life that you want. And, you know, you can create your, you know, you can create your creation of life of who you want to be. What kind of job do you want? You know, what kind of significant other do you want? And stuff like that. What kind of car you want to drive? What kind of house you want to live in? So in a way, you can, you know, you can do it in a minimal scale of creating your own life. You know, you create your own life. That's how you, you know, mimic that in a way. Because you create your own life. You know, what you do, the choices you make, and the time you put your energy in, you know, you create your life, and then you can rest in your creation after you're done. You know, if you got, you know, 7-figure job, a wife, 3 kids, whatever, and, you know, you can in your 50s retire, well, then you just rest in your creation, you know, and have a peaceful rest of your life. That's why we were like, that's why we can't be it, but we're like it. For those two things. You can create the life you want, and you can walk in a higher purpose. It's just a lot of people don't choose to do that. Because it takes time, sacrifice, faith, all those things. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't snap your fingers and the next morning you wake up and you're a doctor driving a Porsche with 3 kids that has, you know, faith. You know, that's sacrifice, dedication, a lot of things. So, and it's like, I was walking home the other night, and it's like, what are we really doing here? You know, like, what are we really doing here? If you look if you look at the state of the world right now, and people's mindsets and what's going on, it's like, what are we really doing here on Earth? Seriously, why do we make it so hard on ourselves and so difficult on ourselves? What's the point? You know, why are we doing it to ourselves? We're so, you know, I believe, you know, we are stuck in our past for some reason, and we gotta move beyond our past, man. We have to. I get it. Bad things happen. There's bad people in this world. I understand that. No one would disagree with that. That there's bad people in this world and bad people in our past and our history and stuff like that. But we can't keep on living in the past. That's the thing. We cannot keep living on the past. How do you expect to live in the future if we're still living in the past from events that happened 60 or 70 years ago? How are we fully ever going to live in the future then? You know, it's like imagine Well, people do it in their own personal lives. They still live in their past events, and their past events still dictate the current times and their future. You know what I mean? It's like, but why though? Just move on from it. I get it. Things happen, bad things happen to everyone in this world. Bad things happen to everyone in this world. I've always said that. It's the pity party, the victim mentality. It's like everyone experiences loss in this life. Everyone has lost a loved one. Everyone will lose a loved one. I get that. A loss of a life is a loss of a life. But what people do is they try to they play the victim mentality of, someone's like, someone's grandpa will die or whatever it is, and they'll be like a certain age, whatever, and someone will be like, well, at least they lived to be 87. My grandpa only lived to be 55 or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's the wrong way to look at it. Someone still lost a loved one. Someone still lost a life. It doesn't matter what age they were or how it happened or when it happened. Yes, some of those are really sad. Don't get me wrong. When a child's in their house and a stray bullet hits them and kills them, that's very sad. Don't get me wrong. That should never happen in this world. But you can't sit there and when someone loses an 89-year-old grandpa, tell them that doesn't matter because he was 89 and that child lived to be 7. They're both sad events. One's not more important than the other. That makes sense to people out there, So I like to think like, everyone experiences it, man. Everyone does. And one day, guess what? We're all going to die. No one gets out of this earth alive. So it's like, what are we really doing here if you think about it? Like, what are we really doing here? We're stuck in our past, man. We need to get away from it. We need to move on from it. Otherwise we can never live in the present or the future. And all we're going to do is keep on hurting ourselves and controlling ourselves and censoring ourselves with new forms of technology and new ways to do it. That's all that's going to happen. Gotta move past all this stuff. It's time to grow up. It's time to move on. We have to. Otherwise we'll be stuck in the past forever. People gotta start, living and fixing themselves and doing everything, man. It has to happen. We can't go on like this. So that's my rant. That's my rant for the day. I can go on longer and more, but I wish they wouldn't. I wish they wouldn't fix the hard time we're in right now. I wish the hard time would stay and we fix it ourselves. Then we create really strong men, and it would be a true foundation, a true fix. Because right now it's like they created this problem. They did, but there are no teams. There is no left and right. They're on the same team. They create a fake problem. They let, people run roughshod with the United States, companies, big tech, pharma. They brought in mass migration to the United States, had us pay for everything. As you can see in Minnesota, they ripped off billions of dollars off taxpayers, right? But they created the problem, and now they're going to fix it. When really they shouldn't. They shouldn't fix it. They really shouldn't. They just let it go. And then have it, and then we fixed ourselves. It would create a lot more tougher men in this world, and lay a true foundation. It's a puppet show, dude. It's all a puppet show, man. All of it. But they're realizing that men are starting to uprise and become stronger. And they're realizing it, so they're they're gonna nip it in the butt before it gets way too strong and way too out of hand, you know. When I talk and say things and correlate things, you know, it's from my the people I watched in the past and all those things, you know. It's like like Andrew Tate used to say back in when I watched Andrew Tate back in the day. It's like he said, it's like, you know, people will pay attention when you have, you know, men of fighting age marching down a street for a cause. You'll pay attention then because they're dangerous, they can cause harm and stuff like that, you know. But no one's gonna pay that too. Like, people will pay attention, but they're not gonna pay too much attention if women are marching down the street for something, because they're more peaceful. They're not gonna get really more, you know, they're not gonna get physical. They're not gonna get violent really. But you get a bunch of 20-something-year-old men marching down the street that are pissed off. Guess what? Things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's getting to that point right now, and they see it, so they're gonna reverse it all so it doesn't happen. You know. So, I wish they wouldn't fix the problem, to be honest with you. I would just cut everything off. I would cut off the government funding programs, all that kind of stuff to all those people, whatever. You know, they've already sealed the border. You know, the last 7 months had zero illegals across the border, so the border's already sealed up. Keep the border sealed up for 30, 40 years. Cut off all the government spending, all the government funding, and then let us fix our own problem. That's how I see it. Because they created the fake problem, they're gonna fix the fake problem. Like always, may peace be with you. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'm Justin. I love you.